Greetings, friend. I hope you are well today. I get often asked, how do you compare property values? How do you know what a home is worth compared to another one? So I thought I'd do a little demonstration here for you and then tie that into tools we use to get a good value on a home. And a CMA, you'll hear that mentioned often, a comparative market analysis, is not an exact number. It's going to give us a ballpark, a range of what a home might be worth, because there's so many factors that go into it. The key that what we want to do is we want to get comparables to your subject property, whether you're buying or selling that subject property. We're going to call it that. What are the comparables to that property? So let me give you a little demonstration. You can see, I'll hold these up, 3 different cups, right? They all do the same thing, just like all houses house people, right? Cups hold liquid or whatever. So would it be fair to compare this cup to this cup? They're similar, but extremely different. Same goes with this cup to this cup. Very, very different. What we have to do is take similar comparable properties, similar comparable cups, so we can compare them to each other. So step 1 is finding the subject property. So for example, you're selling your property. We know what the subject property is. And from there, we're going to look at the square footage, the year built, the basics, and start the search from there. We always want to start in the same neighborhood if possible, within the same division if possible, within the same side of the street, within the same subdivision as possible. The whole idea is to get comparables, at least 3, maybe up to 6, because that's what an appraiser is going to do. We want to get those comparable properties as close to the subject property as possible. Let me give you a very easy example here. Let's say in a condo building, every single one of those condos is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,000 square feet. That's very easy to do comparables. And from there, you're just going up and down, minus and subtracting, or adding, depending on the upgrades, when the AC and the appliances were purchased, is anything updated, etc. But given single family homes, it's not quite that simple. So let's, for our example, say that your home is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths with a pool, 1,800 square feet within an HOA. What are we looking for then? I'm going to plug into the MLS and a few other tools that we can get into on another video. I'm going to look for 3 bedroom, 2 baths, square footage, let's give or take 10%. So 1,800, let's go from 1,600 to 2,000, okay? Square feet, pool homes, 3.2 in that range. I'm going to do a query, a search, to see how many properties come up. If many come up, that's great. Then I can even narrow it more. Maybe I'll go to a little bit lesser square footage. If not enough comparables come up, I've got to expand the search. So the first thing I'm going to do is keep it 3.2 with a pool, but expand the square footage. I want to get 6, 8, 10 solds within 180 days, maybe 6 months, depending on the market. And from there, I can compare apples to apples. The key is to try and get as close a comparable as possible to your subject property. And if there aren't enough comparables, then we have to expand the search. The hardest properties, in my opinion, to comp out are those rural farmland type homes with lots of acreage in an area that has, there's not a lot of solds in the area because they're just not that common a property. Within a subdivision, stay within a subdivision. Within a condo, you're in the condo. You're staying as close to that property as possible and creating an analysis that we can set you up for success when we list the property. A comparative market analysis is an estimate of what approximately we can list and sell the home for. From there, once we get inside, what are the important things? Maintain the maintenance on the property, the major components. Are they updated? The roof, the air conditioning, hot water tank, electrical panel. Okay. I would always suggest too, and I will, when we meet in the house, this is one of the things I will share with you is if you've been living in the home for a while, I would always suggest to do a home inspection prior to listing the property. If you just rehab the home, then most likely there's no need to do that because everything would have been brought up to code, the plumbing, the electrical outlets, etc. So there's a fairly simple example of why comparables make a difference. We can't compare something that's not even close to the subject property. Okay, it doesn't make sense. You can't compare a farmhouse on 5 acres with no pool to a home in a subdivision, a 3-2, 1,800 square foot with a pool. I hope you find that helpful. If I can be of any help for you in your real estate journey, whether you're buying or selling, I'm here. I've got the experience. I've been there, done that. And I would love to share that experience with you to help you make wise real estate decisions. I'm John Rurkowski. I'm here to help in any way I can. And until we chat, take care of yourself and each other and be well. Peace.